the seminar to sort of decode some of the texts. Adjectives, unlike present-day English, they agree with the noun. Thus, the singular, a small hound, becomes smaller hundes. In the plural, it takes an E on the end, which is sort of remnant of the inflections from Old English, which are gradually lost in Middle English. So again, Middle English inherits those weak and strong adjectives from Old English, but the distinction only applies to those monosyllabic terms from Old English, which end in a consonant. It gets very bitty and annoying, such as God, old, young. The weak paradigm is used when the adjective is modified by a determiner. So, again, what we mentioned before, the different types of determiner: definite article, demonstrative, or possessive pronoun. For example, this good man is weak, whilst a good man is strong, because a is indefinite article. The strong paradigm just happens in every other case, basically. Other adjectives, such as those ending in E, those which are polysyllabic and those which are French derivation, do not have strong weak declination, so they don't decline at all. Again, these inflections are just remnants, they're vestigial. So they happen in certain cases and not the majority of others, so we don't need to worry ourselves too much about them, but it's good to recognize them when they turn up. Comparative and superlative adjectives are the same as PDE: ER, ES, green, greener, greenest. Verbs in the present tense, recognizable. So, make, maketh, maketh. Although pronounced, obviously, mach, machest, macheth. Compared to the present day English, make, make, makes. So, I make, thou markest, he, she, it marketh. Plural is mark or marken. Which again, if you're writing, for example, certain types of discourse, such as poetry, you can use the N ending if you want to make up a syllable. Variations is that the third person singular ends in dental consonants, such as D or T, which can be contracted. We still use it now, oddly enough, but usually we correct ourselves afterwards. Like the word writ, used in the past tense form of written, or wrote. You writ it down. So write can be either writeth or writ. Again, other words similar: ride, readeth, or writ. Oop, gone nuts. There we go. So the weak Middle English verbs form their preterites by the ed inflection, pretty much the same as PDE again. Thus, love becomes loved. You can have an E on the end, just for good measure. By extension, lovest becomes lovedest, loveth becomes loved, and lovin becomes loveden. So just the inclusion of that either at the end or just in the middle position. Strong verbs form their preterite by changing the vowel. B becomes bunda. So that's basically weak verbs, ed, strong ones, change the vowel in the middle. Again, what we really still have now. This one's gone mad. Present and past participles. For the most part, certainly in East Midlands and Southern dialects, it's the same as now. Ing. In the Northern dialect, it's and. As you'll see when we look again at Gawain in the Green Knight, that talc ander, which is predominant. So Piers Plowman, which is a Southern text, I don't know the wrong word. Working and wanderinga, in earing and in sewinga. So working and wandering, in earing and sowing, as in corn. Pretty much as you'd expect. But cleanness, which is in the Northern dialect, al in smolderanda smaka smakanda von ilve, or smachanda von ilve, we pronounce. Usually that CH sound is pronounced ch, as in Old English itch, same thing, they just get an H. Past participle in East Midlands and Southern, which again I mentioned at the beginning, become kind of cross-pollinated, as it were. Rather than the Northern dialect, the past participle could take a Y at the beginning. as in I lovde or I bunden from the Old English prefix ge, ge. So in Piers Plowman, again, which is the southern form, I have I sign a seges in the city of London. So I seen, I knal, I bunden, I loven, that kind of thing. Subjunctives, infinitives, and imperatives. Subjunctives are fairly easy because they just stay the same pretty much throughout, unlike Old English, which had used inflections. Again, you've got that levelling effect rather than using inflections. So the subjunctive can be used in conditional sentences, as it still is, which is what it's used for, if thou marker, or in optative sentences, expressing hopes or desires, I hopper or a belief, I traue. So that's what the subjunctive is for, basically. Uncertainty, possibility, if, would, shall, are desires, beliefs, and hopes. The infinitive, just close this door. And it will open, yeah, there we go. The infinitive form has en, and can go with to or for, as usually the infinitive does now. So men, jeren, jesters, for to hear. So we can have to before it or for to before it. In infinitive, the same as much as we use it. To be, to live, to love, to laugh, and so on. The imperative has two forms, love and loveth. And I've only mentioned the imperative really because it's similar to what you get with those second person pronouns, where if you're addressing someone who is of a higher social status than yourself, or you want to preserve a certain kind of formality, then you use the plural. So cometh should really be plural. So cometh near quod he miladi prioressa. The person speaking there is Harry Bailey, who's the host. He's just a normal person, whereas the prioress is in charge of an abbey. So he uses cometh, which is the plural instead of the singular, because it sounds more formal. It shows greater respect. Doesn't necessarily make sense, but that's what he did.